Hi, welcome back to My High Plains Life. I'm Danielle, and this is episode 26, and it is September 28th, 2016. And fall is definitely here. It's been in the 70s, mid 70s this week, but it's really cooling down at night. So, sweater weather, it's on its way. I'm excited about that. And shawl weather. I have a finished object this week. So let's start with on the needles. As far as on the needles, I have an off the needles. My Celtic Myths shawl by Asita Krebs is finished, and I used almost all of my third skein of pashmina. This is Madeline Tosh pashmina in the worn denim colorway. This is not blocked yet. I need to clean off my guest bed before I can block it. But it's lovely. And it's going to be absolutely delicious. I don't know if you can see these cables. Woo, let me scoot back a bit. So it's just going to be warm and cozy and comfy, and I'm going to wear it with everything. Literally everything. So I'm excited about that. The cables are going to block out beautifully, I can already tell. I need to weave in ends. There is one thing that I did, this is the end, that did not match the pattern. I accidentally did an extra cable row of the pattern of the chart that I needed to, and so I only have one garter ridge instead of two on the end. But once it's blocked, I don't think it'll make a difference. So it's not like it's going to roll or anything, so yay. Well, it's kind of warm now. So, and this pashmina is lovely. I can't remember what the mix is, but it's a merino silk cashmere blend. Yay. So this just needs blocked, and it's going to be huge, so it's going to take more than my blocking boards. It's going to take my entire guest bed. So I've got to clean that off because it tends to be the landing place for all the odds and ends that come up from downstairs. If that makes any sense. You know how when you clean your main floor and you just have a pile of things on the stairs that you need to take upstairs because they don't belong downstairs? So you just take them upstairs, but you don't put them away, you just drop them on a bed? Or is that just me? Okay, well that's what I do. And it's piled up and I need to clean it off. So that's my plan. And hopefully that'll get blocked within the next week so that I can wear it on one of these cooler evenings. Additional on the needles, I have some works in progress. My Linum Tea by Bristol Ivy. This was almost an FO too. I am on the arm. I just need to bind off the arm. I've already done the neck. I think it's a beautiful pattern. I did a 3-needle bind off. I guess it's a 3-needle bind off. It didn't say perform a 3-needle bind off. It gave me instructions, but I used 3 needles, so I guess that's a 3-needle bind off. Sure. Connecting the shoulder seams, and I think that looks really good. It needed that extra structure there in that fisherman's rib to hold it. I've tried it on, and it's tight. It's not obscenely tight, like I can still wear it, but it looks so good in the pattern with the positive ease. And I was hoping that the size that I made would give me the positive ease I needed. So my gauge lied. Shocker. And yeah. So I need to lose weight, which I am. I'm working on getting healthier. The hubby and I have been walking, going to the gym at least once a week. It doesn't sound like much saying once a week, but considering I did nothing, that's an improvement. And the goal then is twice a week and then 3 times a week. So we shall see. But the goal is to get healthier and lose some weight. So if I do, this is going to be lovely. I love the asymmetrical neckline of the fisherman's rib. I love this yarn. It's Classic Elite Yarns Bella Lino, which is a linen cotton blend. I still have like 2 skeins of it left, so it's not like I couldn't have made the bigger size, but I thought this would work. So, and one of the reasons I haven't bound off the sleeve yet is because I don't know if I want to add ribbing to it. I did the 1 row of Knit 1 Purl 1 ribbing that the pattern calls for. And then it says to bind off knitwise. I've held off on binding off because I'm not really a short sleeve, sleeveless person. I was hoping it would fall down over my shoulder more, you know, cover my armpit. And it hasn't. Blocking might take care of that, but I'm not sure. So I'm debating adding more. I've looked through the project pages and I couldn't find a case where anybody had done that. Nobody really mentioned the sleeves, sleeveless sleeves portion of it. They mostly talked about the fisherman's rib and not doing it asymmetrically and doing it straight across or eliminating the fisherman's rib. So that's what most of the projects talked about. So advice. I wish I could try it on for you, but I'm not stripping for you right now. And show you what I mean. But if you know what I mean, like it comes to here, so the widest part of my arm is exposed. And if you know, like, so if I raise my arm up, I don't want my armpit to be exposed. Is that weird? What do you think? Do you think I should just follow the pattern as written, or should I add more? I don't want to take away from the style of the linen tee, but I want it to look good on me. So there's that. I also have blueberry waffle socks for me in progress. I have not made much progress. I'm still working on the foot of the first one. Past the heel, working on the foot. Blueberry waffle socks. This is opal in some colorway that I don't know. These have not gone with me, traveled with me very much. They haven't gotten a lot of love. I did do some traveling, which I'll talk about later, but I took my knitting with me, but I didn't knit once at all, so stay, because it always obeys my command. Okay. What am I stocking? Nothing. I'm trying to be faithful to the current whips in progress. However, I do have something in my queue called the transverse cardigan, and that will be moving into projects soon. As soon as I get the linen tee off my needles, whatever I decide to do, the transverse cardigan will be cast on. I have done a swatch for it. It wasn't too long ago, so I don't think I need to redo it. I don't think my knitting's changed much since then. So I just need to pay for that pattern and print it out and get it all set up to go. I am also looking for BEEYARD pattern book number 294 origami. It is from 2010, I think the fall winter 2010 booklet, so it's not in stores anymore. It has a pattern in it called Kiyama that I would love to make out of hand spun. But I can't purchase a digital copy. I have to find a physical copy of the booklet. And so far, no joy. I have posted in Ravelry in the BEEYARD love group and also in the patterns and something group where it's a in search of and de-stash patterns thread. And I put in search of pattern booklet. I'm willing to pay. If anybody out there knows of someone who has BEEYARD booklet number 294 origami, I have PayPal. Let me know. I don't know what else to do. So if you guys have any idea of another way or means to go about acquiring this booklet, please let me know. I have this vision in my head of this sweater. It's an open front cardigan that just wraps around. It's really loose and longer in front than the back. It's not asymmetric. It just kind of goes down to further in the front. And I have some hand spun that I've already spun. It's some of my first. It's thick and thin and not perfect, but it's lovely, and I think it would look great in that cardigan pattern. So I've got this vision in my head of the pattern and the yarn together, and I really want to do it. I don't know what else to do with that yarn. I keep coming back to Kiyama. So sending it out to the universe. If anybody can help me find it, I'd appreciate it. Acquisitions. I do have acquisitions. No yarn, all fabric. Well, the only yarn I did get was that additional skein of pashmina to finish my Celtic mist shawl, and I purchased that in the meantime. No, I think I had it before the last podcast. So the only thing I've purchased since then is fabric. This is for my Joe's Little Women class. The plastic might provide too much glare. This is the stack of fat quarters. There's a fat quarter from every fabric in the new fabric line from Joe Morton. It's called Gratitude by Joe Morton from Moda. So, but look at all those lovely fabrics. Beautiful blues and reds. The only thing it's missing is some greens. Because I'm a blue and green girl. But, so I got this, and I love it. I'm just keeping it all pretty like that. Stay. In addition to that, I got some batik fabrics for my strips and squares exchange for my quilt guild. I got yellow and orange and black for the last couple months, and my swaps have come back lovely. So I'm the one that does the mix-up. What we do, okay, so I'm in charge of the strips and squares committee, and the committee being me. And what we do is you take half a yard of fabric and you cut it either into 6 2.5-inch strips, the width of the fabric, or 16 6-inch squares, and or both, and you put them in a Ziploc bag and you turn them in to me at the meeting. And then I come home, take everybody's strips and squares, and mix them all up so that if you gave 6 strips, you're getting 6 strips back, but it's 1 from 6 different people's. I don't know if I'm explaining this well or not. So that you get back 6 different fabrics that none of them were your originals. So that you get to build your stash and mix up your fabrics a bit. And mine has been lovely. Let me show you. So we had yellows. So see, I've got six different types of fabric there, and the same with my purples. And some blues and some neutrals. Just to mix it up. We decided on batiks this year, so all the fabrics are batiks. And hi, Willow. So that's what we are swapping. And I forgot how I got into this. Oh, because the acquisitions. So I purchased some batik fabric in the correct color for the swap. Each month it's a different color. And so that has been some of my purchases, but I only buy a yard, so it hasn't been too much. I have also purchased some black fabric because I need it for binding for my quilt for my cousin's wedding. Her wedding was at the end of August, so it's already passed. The quilt was at the quilters, the long arm quilters, and it did get finished and did get back. So let's just move on from acquisitions to under the needle. And let me show you a portion of this quilt. So this is my king-size quilt. This is the border. I've trimmed it off. Now I just need to put on the binding. This is the backing. So I just need to put on the binding, which is going to be in black. And I think the quilter did a lovely job. I don't know if you can see. It's in blue thread because I wanted it to look like water. So there's little fishes and then the thrown fishing line with the squiggles. So it's huge. When I get it all finished, I'll take a picture and post that. Because this is just unwieldy. Yay! So I had black fabric to make the binding on that. I also needed black fabric for the sashing on my Thursday mystery quilt block quilt. The last month we received the instructions on putting the blocks together into, we had 26 different blocks, with some of them having 4 or 5 of the same block that we made. So we put those together into 12 bigger blocks, and like this. So this has this block, these blocks, and this block all into it. So I use the black for sashing between those 12 blocks. And let me just give you a little view of what this is. It's not as big as the king size quilt, but it's still kind of big to show. So this is my Thursday mystery quilt block quilt. And isn't that beautiful though? This backwards flipping camera flip, I'll never get used to. So that is ready for a border. I just need to find the fabric for the outer border for that, and then it's on to the quilters too, onto the long armors. So I'm making progress. I feel like I'm making a lot of progress in my quilting recently, and a lot of that is due to adding quilting to my schedule. Quilting is something I've always enjoyed, but, and by always I mean in the last 10 years, 15, 20, a while. But sometimes it's hard to make myself do it. And this is part of my depression that I deal with every day, is getting the motivation to do things, even things that I enjoy, like quilting. So I'm trying to establish a routine just to get me to do things. And part of that includes quilting. So I get up, I do my morning routine, shower, no shower, hopefully I shower, and then I sit down and do an hour of quilting, whether I feel like it or not, because generally once I sit down and start quilting, I love it. I thoroughly enjoy myself. I'm glad I did it. It's just that getting over the hump of sitting down and starting is very hard for me, even still. And I think that I've made a lot of progress and I'm in a much better place now. But starting an activity is still very hard. So I feel very confident. It's not the right word, but I feel very confident that I've included this into my routine and I'm trying to make it a habit. And what I do is I will include activities that I enjoy for positive feedback, and then I start adding in stuff that is not so great, you know, that nobody likes, cleaning house, stuff like that. So I'm still working on my therapy, and I'm still working on my improving, but I've come a long way. So I'm sure you all weren't ready for that talk of depression, but there you go. That is under the needles. Ooh, my English paper piecing. I told you last time I've fallen down that hexie hole. Well, look at this. Look how it's grown. Isn't it cute? Look at all the little hexies. They're lovely. And I can add like 10 of them and it'll hardly grow because they're so tiny. They're 1/2 inch. I've done 2 more of the big ones. Whoa, reverse. 2 more of the big ones. I need more fabric and I need glue sticks. I ran out of my glue stick because that's what I'm using to baste the fabric to the paper hexie. Instead of basting with thread, I am just using a glue stick to hold the fabric down until it's stitched together. That's all it needs to do. So yes, English paper piecing hole. Not sure what I'll do with it. I might make a placemat, but then I'd have to make 3 more. It could just be a little wall hanging. Who knows? All of my hexies that I have done so far are using 1800s reproduction fabrics. I I've always loved reproduction fabrics, but again, this year, my Thursday Mystery quilt block, Joe's Little Women's Club, the Hexies, everything I'm doing lately seems like it's out of reproduction fabrics. So I feel like branching out and doing something in a different fabric, maybe finishing up my tulip kaleidoscope quilt. It needs binding, or it needs borders and then quilting and binding. So I'll show it to you when I start working on it. That's it for Under the Needle. In the garden, I need to start fall cleanup. Pull weeds, pull mint, which is a never-ending battle, etc. We can still leave the cushions on the patio furniture for a little while longer. The days are nice enough that we can go outside and enjoy it, but we will be putting them into the shed this winter because Colorado sunshine and winter weather, it doesn't matter if you have Sunbrella all-weather fabric, it disintegrates in a matter of a couple years if you don't take care of it. Even if you do take care of it, it's just nothing lasts. Nothing lasts in the high plains of Colorado. In the bee yard, I have no hives left. This is the first year since 2012 that I haven't gone into winter with a hive. I'll start again in the spring with a swarm. I'm still getting phone calls for hive removal. It's too late in the season to have a successful hive removal and establish the hive well enough to make it through the winter. So I'm not doing any more of those for the season. I'll start again next spring, and hopefully I'll get some swarm calls early in the springtime that I'll be able to collect some good swarms, good-sized swarms, and start up some new hives. Instead of buying packages that are $100 every time, I'm going to collect swarms. So that's my goal. Fingers crossed. And off topic. I have been watching stuff, but what I've been listening to lately is the Downseller Studio podcast with Boston Jen. She is very thorough. She's interesting and she's funny. And I love the fact that she spoils her nieces and nephews. She's always knitting for them and includes them in her podcast periodically. And I really enjoy that because I too am someone without children who spoils my nieces and knits for them, and just they're the children in my life. So I find her podcast really resonates with me. And right now, Downseller Studio Podcast is doing Pigskin Party 2016 Knit Along. It kicked off with the beginning of the regular season football, NFL football, and runs through the Super Bowl. So I'm participating. This is my third year participating. I love it. It's actually a long enough time frame that it gives me time to get things done. You post FO pictures in the end zone dance. And for each item you finish, you earn points. You can find out all the rules and stuff on the Downseller Studio podcast page. If you Google it, it'll pop up, and I should include a link in the show notes. You get points, and your points earn you chances in the drawing for prizes. There are sponsors that offer discount codes. You get additional points for using sponsor materials i.e. project bags or stitch markers, or designer's patterns. They have interceptions, they have Monday Night Football, special events. There's just a lot of stuff that keeps it interesting throughout the football season. And I'm really enjoying it. Have I started anything specifically for it? No. Everything I've started has been before the football season started. But I'm hoping there's an interception for finishing whips soon. But if not, that's okay. If you're not a member of the Down Cellar Studio podcast group and want to play along, let me know, because I can get points for drafting somebody. So if you join the group, if you join the Down Cellar Studio podcast group, and start playing along with the Pigskin Party, Cal, I can earn points for recruiting you into the Ravelry group. So let me know. I'd love to play along with other members of our group, and I'd love to earn some extra points for the Pigskin Party. So let me know. I do normally watch some of the football games anyway. You don't have to watch football. You don't even have to like football. There's a lot of football themed ways to earn points, but you don't even have to watch or care about football. I happen to watch some of the games anyway, but this year I'm playing in some fantasy football leagues. So NFL Red Zone is my friend. I can watch all the touchdown and end zone scoring that I want. I used to hate NFL Red Zone because I felt like I was schizophrenic switching from game to game. But now that I'm playing fantasy football and I have different players on different teams, NFL Red Zone lets me see what all the teams are doing, so at the same time. So it works for me now. Blame my husband on getting me into fantasy football. And that's another hole I've been swallowed down. We'll see. I'm trying not to do too much research, just enough to play the right people and sit the right people on my bench so that I can win the head-to-head competitions each week. But I'm trying not to become too obsessed with it. So we shall see. We took a motorcycle trip over the weekend of the 17th to Snowmass, Colorado. We did about 570 miles in all in 2 days. We did 4 mountain passes. We did Monarch Pass, McClure Pass, Independence Pass, and Wilkerson Pass in Colorado. And I think they all go over 10,000 feet. I know Monarch and Independence Pass are pretty high. And the aspens were changing. It was beautiful. It wasn't peak leaf peeping season yet, but it had definitely coming into it. So we had a beautiful ride. It was beautiful scenery. We went to Snowmass as our destination because they had a balloon festival. So we got in Saturday night. We got to go to the Balloon Glow. They had a free concert. And it was just the right amount of activity to do after a day of riding. And then we got up the next morning. Didn't officially watch the liftoffs, but we did see some balloons in the air. And then drove home. It was really good. I didn't have to push myself too hard to be social. I did still take some time to recuperate after, though. Not as long as I would have in the past. Only took a day or two of downtime. And then I was, ready to be social again. So, pretty good. I received a wonderful package in the mail from Rosanna of, I don't know how to say it, Millie Milo Arts. She has an Etsy shop. I'll have a link to it in my show notes. But I had commented on an Instagram picture she'd posted about some stitch markers she'd made. And so she sent me some. Aren't these beautiful? It's a little pink elephant and a raven, a little kitty cat. Oops. And just some beads. And these are progress keepers and a bell. Some are just regular stitch markers. Some are progress keepers. And I'm very excited to get these. They're lovely. And I will include a link to her Etsy shop. She does mixed media arts. And take a look. It's kind of interesting. So thank you, Rosanna. I appreciate it. What else has been going on in my life? I got a new laptop. So this is my very first podcast recording on my new laptop. And I just got it yesterday. I suffered extreme insomnia last night. I think I got 2 hours of sleep because anxiety, hand in hand with depression, is anxiety. I questioned myself. Did I make the right purchase? Could we afford to spend the money? Just, did I really need a new laptop? What if my old one crashed? I didn't have it all backed up, so yay. And then excitement about getting a new laptop and transferring all my files and applications and everything over and making sure everything was protected. And so we had a sleepless night, but hopefully I will have a productive day. I'm recording a podcast. I'm hoping to get some quilting done later. And I make a decision about my knitting. Or maybe I'll hold off on that and give you viewers a chance to chime in with some opinions. I'd really appreciate that. I'm looking around my craft room to see if I have anything else that I've forgotten. And I don't think I have. Quilting, knitting, off topic. So I think I've hit it all. I've had a really good time talking to you all today. Thank you so much. Again, my name is Danielle. I can be found as daniGirlCO on Instagram, Ravelry, and Periscope. And show notes can be found at www.myhighplainslife.blogspot.com. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.